One man who knows all about diplomacy in Saudi Arabia is Alan Munro, British ambassador there between 1989 and 93. He certainly doesn't want to see Britain denounce Saudi Arabia for its approach to criminal justice. Rather, he says we should be investing more in good relations with an important political and commercial ally. So I asked Alan Munro if there was a difference between the Charlie Hebdo killers inflicting violence on alleged blasphemers and the Saudi authorities ordering Raif Badawi to be flogged.
There is a difference here. It is, in my view, a matter largely of degree. On the one hand, you have criminal acts of outright assassination. Now, at the same time, one has to acknowledge that Saudi Arabia remains a deeply conservative religious society. The punishments which they continue to apply are not acceptable in Western eyes.
You say it's a matter of degree. Do you mean that it's all right to inflict 1,000 lashes on someone if they criticize Islam, but killing them's going too far?
For me, no, I don't believe that the infliction of punishment of that severity is acceptable. But I do recognize that Saudi Arabia, a very conservative society, its leadership has been leading this country towards a process of reform, towards a more open...
What are the signs of that? If they're still taking people out and giving them 1,000 lashes for, as they see it, criticizing Islam, where are the signs that things are getting better?
Gracious me, the signs of change are very apparent now. You have a press that is open to criticizing the government behavior. You have
people who've criticized the government of Saudi Arabia have also been taken out and flogged and locked in prison.
Honestly, there is very little of this. It is played up very much in the foreign media. There are many, I am sure, among the leadership who would like to see that door opened, but they can only do so at a pace which their society can adjust to. The point now is that we associate ourselves in dialogue to encourage forward this very process of change.
Well, should we be taking the same approach to organizations like, I don't know, Al-Qaeda or Islamic State? Say, well, look, we'd like to work with the moderate elements within your organizations. It's better that we work with these people, engage with them rather than shun them.
No, the Saudis are in no way to be put in the same bracket as these extremist bodies. It's in the process of change. Slow, but it is happening.
We couldn't talk to the Saudi embassy in London about this process of change. They too turned down requests for an interview. But I did meet up in a London cafe with a man who fled Saudi Arabia because he too feared being locked up or flogged. Yahya Assiri has written critical articles about the Saudi government. Now living in exile in the UK, Assiri sees no sign of change or liberalisation back in his homeland.
If anybody shows his opinion, writing something to ask for democracy or freedom, immediately they will arrest him and they will say, this person, he is insulting the reputation of the country, and people sentenced for long prison for a long time.
Whatever the situation inside Saudi Arabia, what's claimed is that it is getting better.
Unfortunately, they are going backward after Arab Spring. A friend of mine, he established a human rights organization, and he sentenced for 15 years. He have been tortured. It's so difficult to be a refugee. I really miss my family. But if I go back to the country, I'm 100%, I will be in prison, I will be accused. This is the only way to defend the human rights in Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, we will be silent.
That's Paul Moss reporting on the case of Raif Badawi.